What up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Wyatt, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on a new horror film that is based on a popular video game called Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a video game that became a big cult hit. And I'm someone who has never played the video games before. I've heard about it. I saw the gameplay. I heard a lot of rave reviews from that game, and it became more of a popular hit at the time. And I can't compare between those two with the game and the movie itself. So I went in and judged that as a film, and I saw the trailers and I thought it looked intriguing. But then when I found out that they were going to stream it on Peacock and open it in theaters at the same time, and then the review embargo was going to drop the day before its release, I was like, oh, this is a red flag. And it's to show you that the studio doesn't have that much faith in it. Because when you're dropping the review embargo the day before its release or streaming it on any streaming service in general on the same day, it's to show you that the studios don't have faith in it and the critics are not going to give any positive word of mouth from this movie. And according to the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, only 29% of the critics gave it a positive score, but most of the critics have got negative response. But according to the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a higher rating than critics itself. So apparently audiences liked it a lot more than critics. And if I remember correctly, it's sitting at A minus on Cinema Score right now. I could be wrong. I'm probably gonna have to fact check that later. Now on to Five Nights at Freddy's. It tells a story about Josh Hutcherson's character, who is a troubled brother who has a sister named Abby that he has to look after, and he is having trouble finding a new job because he's kept getting fired from any odd jobs that he gets until he comes across with a career counselor named Matthew Lillard, which you may have known him from the original Scream, and he was in Scooby-Doo. He's been in a lot of 90s hit movies, and it was interesting to see him come back to the horror genre in general. He's the guy who gives them this new security job, a night shift at an abandoned place called Freddy's Fazbear Pizzeria that was been abandoned in the 80s. And he gives them a task to take the night job. And he's out of desperation because if he doesn't find a new job, he's going to lose his legal guardianship from his little sister. So he took the job, and later he finds out when he takes the night job, he starts to see that these five animatronic characters are coming to life, and it's killing anyone who tries to trespass on their property or tries to vandalize the place. And it's going to be a difficult task, and it's going to be a lot to process for him to go through, and how he's going to have to handle the situation. And then we see that a cop, played by Elizabeth Lail, she's playing Vanessa. She knows a lot more than what she's letting on, and she's the only cop that is looking out for that place, and she knows the place in and out. She's practically grew up in that place, and it's so obvious that she knows a lot more than what she's telling him. And that's where the story is set. And after watching this movie, I decided to just watch it on Peacock because I was a little bit worried and nervous to go in to see this in the theater, because after hearing the negative backlash from critics, I decided to just take the chance to watch it on Peacock instead at home. I know I'm someone that always supports the movie theater going experience. Even from movies that are not all that good, I will still give it a shot. If this wasn't streaming on Peacock on the same day, I will still go to the theater and give it a shot because it looked interesting and I was hoping for the best. After watching this movie, I will say that this movie, it wasn't all that good. I don't think it was as good as I was hoping for, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in any horror film. I just felt like this movie felt like it was coming off of someone that has their first time directing, even for a director that has only directed a few projects here and there. But this just felt very lazy and constructive film. The pacing felt a little off at times, and it felt a little bit slow, and it felt boring at times. But I will say that Josh Hutcherson character and the little sister, their screen time together was very good. I got touching moments here and there. I thought it was not all that bad. But even Josh Hutcherson himself looked like he was sleepwalking through that movie. Maybe it's because it was probably on purpose, because his character is suffering a lot of PTSD and the loss of his little brother, because back in the day, when him and his family went camping, his little brother got kidnapped, and he witnessed the kidnapping when he was a young child. And every day he always goes to sleep and tries to dream and try to piece together of who's the guy that abducted him, because he was nowhere to be found ever when the last time he saw him. And he's been taking sleeping pills every night to try to piece it together so he can find the guy who did it. He's so caught up in his own past, but he's not really focusing on what's in front of him right now, is taking care of his little sister, which I thought the actress did a good job. I thought she's a very talented. She has her moments that I got very emotional at times. But I thought that the body count didn't really felt look that interesting. It didn't look that good, and the horror and the suspense felt very like sloppy to me. I wasn't very terrified with these five animatronics when they were coming to life. I thought I was going to be terrified, but it just didn't look like it to me. It just felt very poorly structured. And the reveal of the killer, the one who's pulling all the strings, the one who's taking control of these five animatronics, it didn't take a while for us to figure out who's the killer. And there was like three main characters, and you could pretty much guess one character who's the killer. And I won't spoil it for you guys because I know this movie came out recently, and even though I'm not so thrilled with it, but I will let you find out for yourself. But it just felt so anticlimactic by the third act. Like I said, the body count was not that impressive. Even to some of the goons that are coming in and vandalizing the whole place, like you saw in the trailers. And this is movies in PG-13 rating, which I get it. You can get away with a PG-13 rating when you're doing horror, but it felt like it could have been an R-rated. I feel like that they wanted to rate this as a PG-13 so they can get like younger audiences in the theater and so that they can make a buckload of money. But overall, this film just felt very lazy. I wasn't so crazy about it. I don't think it's one of the worst movies of the year. I just think that it's one of the most disappointing movies I've seen this year. Would I recommend this movie? No. Would I recommend rushing out to see this in the theater? No. I say watch it on streaming. Even if you're someone who is very apprehensive to see this movie, I think you should just watch it on streaming on Peacock to be on the safe side because it might save your money and your time. But who knows? I might be wrong. This movie might be made for you. I think you probably might get a kick out of it more than I do. I for one did not like it. I was not too crazy with it, and it's a movie I would not want to watch again. By the end of the film, it felt very unsatisfying. And even in the mid-credit scene that they did was so stupid and pointless. It was just in it for the shock value, and it didn't serve any purpose of the story whatsoever, and it didn't really set up anything, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, maybe they did a little bit, but not as much as you expect. And it looks like it's performing very decently well at the box office against Killers of the Flower Moon, which is outperforming that movie surprisingly. Now, what did you think of this movie? Did you really enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's, or were you someone out there like me that just wasn't crazy about it? And would you rather go see this movie in the theater, or would you watch it on streaming? Just jump down in the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. I would love to hear it. A lot of changes that I have been doing in my videos were there's been a few videos that I've posted with Frailty, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Remake, and Lights Out, where I've been adding more clips and trailers to keep this video more interesting and more watchable, because most of the majority of my reviews, I just record myself and that's about it. But I wanted to make improvements on my channel and keep evolving and keep growing. And I hope you guys subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. I will continue to improve my videos. And I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. And if you like this review, give it a thumbs up on my video. I would really appreciate your support. And I hope you guys stay safe and take care, and happy Halloween.